claims that are pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're going to pay the consequences for that, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. We're obliterating everybody, literally. There is nobody else that comes close to what Hex has done. Boom. Oh, it's about to get funky. Funkier than you could have ever imagined. You know, Richard Hart is a boss. Hex is literally the best thing on the planet. It's simple mathematics. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Your intro is great, man. That's really funny.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's one of our astute community members goes by Proof of Beard Only One on Twitter, also known as Markable Thoughts. Just this gentleman that does a lot of video work for us in the community. He's really good at it, as you can tell.
For sure, that's good. So you did your voiceover.
Yeah, he just took snippets from random streams and threw them on beats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. That's even better. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really. I don't. Voiceovers are hard, man. I don't know. Trying to work up that emotional energy, right?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to him for the cool video, man.
Yeah, he's sick, man. He's sick. Yeah, definitely reach out to him if you ever want some crazy videos done, because that guy is a boss. Yeah, I'll put you in touch with him if you want. He's easily reachable on Telegram or Twitter.
Yeah, I saw. I just pulled up his Twitter. That's cool. All right, shout out.
Cool. All right, so let's get right into it. Oh, no. Thank you for making the time, because I know it's holiday season. It's like I don't have a lot of time to play with either, so I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah. So check it. Here's why I wanted you to come on. The reason is because we have a lot of people that throw around that information that you're throwing around, right? And now here's the statistical facts, right? The statistical facts are that we have over 751 days of 100% uptime, and all the data points that our blockchain transmissions emit, right? We have all of these data points showing everything is real. Nothing is funny, but yet everybody persists on looking at what? Misinformation that can't be verified. There is nothing to back it up. And the people that make the claims won't step forward and back their claims up. So,
well, that's silly.
Well, yeah, as a third party, how do you think it makes you look when you're running around pitching this stuff after you've bought, sold, and you got some hex stake? So
yeah, that's true. I understand how the community might not view it favorably. I mean, like my thing is not trying to just I'm not trying to necessarily only like shill my bags and tell other people to buy what I own to make more money personally.
I don't think it's about that either. I just think you have to be, and it's not about riling up the community. Fuck the community, because everybody knows already.
Yeah, the community is definitely more informed about all these things than me. So one of the things that was always interesting is every time I share something, then there's people that are a lot more educated than me that respond to certain claims or certain points, and they have they've thought about these things. Or obviously, this article apparently is very well known in the community. It's been circulating for years. I wasn't aware of the whole history or backstory, or that this guy's updated it 200 times over the last 2 years, and that the whole community kind of already had talked about these things before. So I'm more new to the Hex community, of course, and so it's always interesting to learn from people in the community that are obviously more aware of all these things than me. So that's definitely part of it.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? It's not so much that the appearance of what's going on is what's funny, right? Because again, we have all of this data verifying everything, but people like to come with this misinformation. You see, so this is why it's a big issue, to the point that it makes me step out of what I'm doing to address it. Because everybody's used to Richard Harden and how he handles these things. The fact of the matter is that he's too nice about it, and that's my opinion, right? But I'm just a math guy, so I look at things the way I look at them. Now, if you sit here and you take this data and you sparse this data and you look at every single point at every single instance on this blockchain with respect
Mhm.
to Hex, right? You'll notice one thing. And that one thing is that every transaction on there was not forced, right? Outside of the MEV bots, right? Because they're everywhere. Because miner extract, value extracting bots are going to be all over the Ether blockchain because of the gas problems and all of that. So you can't really escape that issue, right? But
Right.
the issue of wash trading and all of these things, they're not going to be on a blockchain, right? Because that's why they're going to be on a specific nexus of a network like a Binance or whatever other exchanges out there, FTX. Those aren't real trades that are happening on a blockchain, right? Unless you're actually buying that spot product, it's not hitting the chain, right? So there's a very important difference in understanding what you're looking at and where you're looking at it at, right? So
Okay.
this is why Hex is very unique, right? You don't see it trading on these BS exchanges where people get rug pulled and scam all the time. Because the whole purpose of crypto is for you to be the owner of your financial security, not some third party, which clearly has not worked out well. Because look at 2021.
Yeah, I understand there's risks with centralized exchanges. It is very interesting. I mean, in some arguments, people can say, it's not on any of these exchanges. That's a cause for concern. Other people can say,
Right,
hey, it's pre-viral because it's not on any of these exchanges. What's going to
right.
happen, right,
Yeah, it's a
when it
funny thing,
comes?
right? It's a
But it's
funny thing.
like it is funny, but it's also weird that like they won't. I mean, at this point, there's enough attention around Hex, and all these other exchanges list so many. And to Richard's credit, he's said this, and I frankly agree. Like, some of these exchanges list projects that are actually have no value, like a meme coin, right? Like it's
Yeah,
there's no underlying utility behind it. It's like, probably should go to zero, but they list these projects. So it's weird that they're taking a stance that they're listing these projects, and they're kind of, I don't want to say they're endorsing them, because the exchanges have been clear that they don't endorse any
anything.
product,
Right,
anything that they list. They just list it because there's a public demand for buying and selling that, and they facilitate that, and it's up to each individual to decide what to buy and sell. But it's weird that they still won't touch Hex. Like, it's weird
right.
that they won't list it, because apparently they're taking this stance that, like, hey, look, we're agnostic, we're just a buyer and seller market maker.
But really
But then they
not.
won't list Hex, and Hex is, arguably bigger than a lot of the things they're listing,
Correct.
has more attention, potentially more demand, and
Hmm.
so that is a weird thing.
That's right. It is a weird thing, and these are the kind of things that should come to people's attention, right? Not some rinky-dink article with no sources, no verifiable information, and that's the issue, right? Because when you look at what's really going on, it's obvious, right? And the reason that those exchanges don't want to list Hex is because the perceived idea is that if you get too many people realizing that they can buy something one time and that's it, that's all they're going to get, right? But the reality is entirely different. The reality is that people that are in Hex are constantly buying. You have people that have been around since 2017 before Hex, and they're still buying Hex to this day. So this idea, right, that, oh, we can't list Hex, well, it's perceived on the basis of two things. One is that we're not going to pay them to list something that they should be listing because they're going to make money off of listing it anyway.
Right, but that's a drop in the bucket. I mean, if your goal is to augment the amount of people that are
Mhm.
aware of and participating in a network, paying the $1 million fee to list it, yes, maybe it's not like fair to you. Maybe it should be listed for free, but at the end of the day, it's a net positive for the community just to pay $1 million to Binance and list it. And there's going to be more than $1 million coming into Hex because they list it, right? So it's kind of like, I understand on principle, but at the same time, if the goal is to grow the network, they would presumably just pay to list it, right?
Well, the goal isn't to grow the network per se. The goal is to use it. The end user has to find it. It exists. Hex doesn't need anything, right?
Yeah,
Like
I see what you're
projects that's like saying you need to put Gucci in Target.
saying.
That's what you just said, right? And this is what people don't understand. Hex is what it is. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't need any promotion. And all people need to know is that you can either hold it or stake it. And when it comes to staking, the advantages are ABC 1, 2, 3.
So your argument of why these, I'm not saying this is wrong, just clarifying.
Mm-mm.
You're saying that exchanges don't list it because the people that are, let's say, like the part of the journey of going down the rabbit hole of Hex is that you kind of converge your assets on one currency, which is Hex, and then you stake it, so then you stop trading, so then the exchanges would like long term lose customers or lose business because the people would be more aware of Hex. They would start buying Hex, they would stake Hex, and then they wouldn't use the exchanges long term because they would move their other shit coins, let's call them, out of. They would stop trading Shiba, they would stop trading all these other random alts, and they would just buy Hex and stake Hex, and then that would be a net negative for the exchange. So that's your argument of why an exchange isn't listing Hex is like.
No, it's not exactly as you said it, because I don't actually think, because there's plenty of people in the community that own other coins that aren't Hex.
Right.
So
Although, to be fair, I did tweet, and maybe I could show this on the stream. I tweeted this. You might have seen it, or you guys
let's see
might
the
have.
sticker bottle.
Do you have my Twitter up?
Yeah.
Here, I'll share the screen.
Oh yeah, you can share your screen too. That's fine.
Yeah. Just give me
No rush.
2 seconds here. So yeah, if you look at this here, this tweet I put up, this was yesterday, and I said, what percentage of your crypto portfolio is in Hex? Do you feel the need to diversify to other stores of value as Bitcoin? The vast majority said 50% plus, but most of them said 75 to 100. And I would even argue that if I did another poll and I said, is it 75 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, I would guess that most of this 75 to 100 is 90 to 100. So I
Yeah,
would say like a
probably.
lot of the Hexicans they mostly have Hex. They have mostly Hex, and they also don't feel the need. If you look at the comments here, there's I don't know how many. There's 1,800 votes, so it's a pretty big sample. But there's quite a few comments here, and almost all of them are like, why would you buy
Anything else?
Why would you buy anything else? And like, look, Bitcoin's like digital gold. They are both suboptimal. Why bother? Right? Like, so most people don't even have BTC. So I would almost say that like. I understand what you're saying that Hexicans own other coins, but I would say like most of them have only Hex. And that might also be because they started with a small portion of Hex. And a lot of people have this in crypto where you start with, let's say put 10% of your net worth in crypto. Suddenly 90% of your net worth in crypto if you've been in long enough, right? So a lot of these Hexicans probably put in 5 or 10% into Hex, 1%, 2%, 5%, and now they have 90% because Hex went up 1,000x.
Right.
So,
but can you blame that on the person or on the market?
no, I'm happy for them. I'm really happy someone made 1,000x.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Completely valid point, because I'm one of those people that only owns Hex.
Yeah.
Right. But I've been around since forever. Right.
Right.
I'm not
You were in early to Hex, like 2019, whatever.
No. I mean around in crypto.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
no. I got to Hex in 2020, October 2020. So I just breached the 1 year mark a couple months ago. So I'm relatively new as well. Yeah.
Well, not real. I mean, yeah. I guess relative is a new.
Look. Thank you, Nardo, for the $55 super chat, brother. Appreciate it. Look, I've known Richard Hart exists since 2016. I wasn't a follower because I'm a guy that's from New York. In New York, we live outside. We don't live on the internet. The rest of the world kind of lives on the internet. So
yeah,
only lately, in 2020, did I start really trying to understand what the hell's going on the internet. And that led me to Hex. And it's only because of my varied interests. I work on Wall Street. I've traded futures for a long ass time, Forex exchange, all these things, right? So I've known crypto. I've been in crypto since 2010. I was one of those guys that bought BTC early on and sold it, thinking I was smart.
Yeah. I heard a great
not that
meme
smart.
where like if you just bought Hex the first time you said it was a scam, you'd be rich. It's
yeah.
like,
Well,
funny meme.
that's the funny thing. Bitcoin was a scam, and let me tell you, Ethereum was a scam to me.
Yeah, I remember that. I think in some ways, it's like it means that like you're early to something. If I mean, there's two options, right? Either it is a scam and it doesn't matter if you're early, or it just means that the market doesn't understand it yet, and you're early to something that other people don't understand, and that means there's opportunity, right? So
Yeah.
if more people are thinking like, oh wow, this project is, I don't want to touch this. This is a joke. Like this is stupid. It's a scam. It's going to go to zero. Then that means you're probably early to something.
Right.
So
Right. And this comment on the screen is the common joke because, Hex has retired a lot of guys that have been in for the 2 years.
yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Guys
It's
that
the
have
thing.
put in enough money to be able to say to themselves, hey, I can afford to do nothing, literally.
So what about so we talked about the exchanges.
Hmm.
You think it's not a big deal that like it's not suspicious in some way that they haven't listed Hex, but they'll list a
No,
lot of other coins.
no, and I'll tell you why. Uh, reason one is they don't list every coin either. Reason two, which is more important, is that crypto isn't supposed to have centralized exchanges. It's not. It wasn't made for that. It literally was not made for that. What's happened is that you have all of these people try to create markets when they don't know anything about them. This has been the biggest issue that you see with crypto. I mean, think about it. How does somebody that only knows how to code create an order book? Fucking possible, bro. They don't know anything about order books. They don't know anything about how markets trade. They don't know anything. So it's almost nonsensical that you have all of these guys trying to do all this stuff.
Right, but
Right.
I guess the counter argument is that, like, given that I mean, you could argue that it's not in line with the ethos of crypto to have a centralized exchange, not your keys, not your coins. Like, I agree with all those things, but given that they exist, and given that they also like showcase or have other coins listed that are like less notable than Hex, right? Like objectively, they're less price appreciation, right? You can argue that that's objective. They
Hmm.
have less users, perhaps. They have a less smaller market cap, etc. And they have major exchanges that have these. It's still like kind of weird that they have. Like I agree that exchanges maybe shouldn't exist, or and I don't even say they shouldn't exist because they help onboard a lot of people to crypto. So I actually think they're a net positive, but that you
Well, there's
shouldn't
a
use them.
reason. There's a reason you can say that. Do you understand that reason?
That I
Because
could say
that's what.
exchanges are a net positive.
Yeah, and they help onboard people. There's a reason you can say that. But do you know that reason?
I'd have to think about it. Why?
So the reason is because they block people from being able to access crypto directly via their bank. That's why.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. Like they
Yeah,
shouldn't need to exist because people should be able to go directly from their bank to
exactly.
crypto.
It's their own freaking bank card. Why do banks think they can block where you can transact in? So that's a form of capital control, sir.
Yeah,
And that
that
there
shouldn't
is a
happen.
breach of the
That's fair.
Fourth Amendment. That's right. Right. And then these are the things that people need to be aware of. This is why you got to know what you don't know.
That's the hard thing. Yeah, I
That's right.
understand. There's more that I don't know than I do know.
Hmm.
Even in things I think an expert in like poker. There's still more that I don't
Oh,
know than I
well,
do
I
know.
mean, there's an infinite trove of knowledge out
Yeah,
there. This is
exactly.
why one has to keep an open mind and understand that they don't know anything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of my strengths at least. But yeah, I agree. So I mean, I still yeah, I guess I'm still like struggling to get my, and it just doesn't, it's not implicit that this is definitely like, it's not implicit that it's a scam just because it's not listed on an exchange. I'm just saying it is kind of weird that there are exchanges that exist. These exchanges have existed for a long time. They list a lot of coins. They list a lot of shitty coins. They list a lot of coins with objectively smaller metrics than Hex, and they don't
No
list
use
Hex.
case, no utility,
Right.
no reason
Like
to
a meme
exist
coin. And
whatsoever. They're
I've been
just
very
copies
clear
of
about,
each other. And you
right,
don't
meme
find
coin.
it odd that they will pump the hell out of that, but won't even list Hex. You think that that makes sense.
I don't think it makes sense, but I think it's
But there
weird.
you
Like,
go. So why do you think that we want to be involved with anything like that? Look, I don't lose sleep over that shit at all. In fact, I sleep better because of it. Because I know my coin isn't listed on some centralized fed back fuck show. I don't need that, bro. And nobody in crypto needs that. That's for normies that don't understand shit and they're just buying Shiba Inu and getting wrecked.
yeah.
That's it. and Doge and shit. Like that's it. Like what else are the people buying on there? They're not buying Bitcoin because Bitcoin costs 60 freaking thousand per coin, or 47,000. Excuse me. Last I checked.
Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
they're
they're
not even
buying.
buying ETH, bro. Like they're buying bullshit. They're buying
Yeah.
NFTs. They're going on. They're buying ETH to go on fucking OpenSea to lose their money.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what people are doing.
Or they're buying Solana to like go in
Whatever.
some
Yeah,
DeFi
and then
project.
Solana freaking turns itself off, and then whatever happens, happens. Like
Yeah, yeah.
all
No,
these
I agree.
things.
I think a lot of it's for speculating. I think a lot of
Bro,
it is like
all of it is speculating.
I get these
Hex is
ads in
not.
my feed about like go on eToro and buy like Shiba Inu or some bullshit. And I'm like, this
Hmm.
is like, I can't believe they're promoting that. But yeah, it's it's crazy. So what all right, so I did have a question, and this
Hmm.
again, like I'm not I understand that
Shoot,
I'm less
shoot,
aware of these things than
shoot,
everybody
shoot,
else in the
shoot. Don't
community.
be shy.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that here, let me share my screen again. Let me move
Hmm.
this over. So I did tweet about an article. I wasn't endorsing everything in the article. I was just saying people should at least read the article and understand. And if they debunk everything in the article and decide that they want to invest in Hex, that's great. I mean, that's cool. Um, I got a lot of flack for that, but that's part of it. Here, so let
Yeah, but
me.
here's the thing. Let me explain why you got a lot of flack for it.
Yeah,
Most of the people that are giving you shit have been around for at least 2 years, bro.
yeah, that's fair. I was more
We
tweeting from
already
people that
know, yeah, we already know all the arguments. We already
right.
know all the arguments. There's nothing you can tell us that we don't already know. So it's not anything against you. It's just the simple fact that you sat down with Richard Hart, basically wasting his time and looking at this shit. Like
I
that's what
don't
it
think
looks like,
I
bro.
don't think I
Think
wasted
about it.
it. I think we had a good
Well,
interview.
think about it like this. Think about it like this. I don't know where you're from, but let's imagine this is a mafia movie. And let's say you went and spoke to the Godfather, and the Godfather gave you a mission, gave you a message, gave you direction, and you diverted away from that direction. What do you think happens to you? You get whacked. Do you not? You get whacked. It's very simple. The rules of the streets are very clear. There's no confusion, and that's a good thing, right? Our community operates in a similar way, except for that we're not going to kill you, right?
Very very strong community. Very
Right?
strong community, no doubt.
Mhm.
I mean, to be fair, for the people watching, like that are new, I've done well in Hex so far. I mean, I made some mistakes trading it, which I got a lot of flack for too. Shout out to the community. I definitely got educated about trading. I've
But do
kind of
you
changed.
understand the issue though? Right? Because I was a trade. I'm look. I can still trade. I traded for 12 years at this point, going on 13.
Right.
Right? So trading is cool. It's helped me a lot in my life. It's helped me
Yeah.
understand
Although
a lot of things.
it's not the best to do in Hex because like your opportunity cost of staking is quite high, right? Like you have to pay fees for buying and selling, and then you have to pay potentially capital gains tax if you do it short term, and then you also have to pay like the opportunity cost of what you would have made by staking, which is let's say 20% a year, 25-30% a year, depending on what you stake. That's a couple extra percent a month too. So basically,
Right.
my thought was, and I tweeted about this too, that like um, it ends up costing you a lot to trade, and so you have
Yeah.
to be very right in order to
Yeah.
justify trading because you're paying like a 5% fee per month in your trades, right?
And that's if you're good.
And it's if you're good, right? So that rake, like as we call it in poker, is expensive. So I think for
Yeah.
most people, it's probably not better. I wanted to ask you about something in this article too. Someone asked me about what I was curious about. I don't know if you've read this. I'm sure you've read this whole thing. I don't know if you remember exactly what this is referencing, but basically referencing like some recycling of ETH.
Oh, where'd the ETH go?
Right, like basically this continuous loop opportunity to you send ETH to the origin address, you get Hex, and then
Yeah.
you send the ETH to a different address, and then you send it back to the origin address to get more Hex.
Right.
Like, is
Yeah.
this something that's concerning to you at all, or what are your thoughts on that?
No, no, because the way it worked is at the time the contract minted 530 whatever million coins daily,
Right.
and that was the pot. That's it. So every day, just like with the sacrifices going on now, you would take
Mhm.
your Ethereum and send it to that address. So you could see whoever is sending to that address. So again, everything is on the chain, my man. Like these are things that don't have any question. Like the question is redundant. It's all on the chain. Like you, if the ETH is being recycled, well, you can sure as hell see it if it's actually happening.
Right. Okay. So I didn't look. To be fair, I didn't look on. I'm not like the best at necessarily auditing
No, that's fine. I mean, but the
blockchain.
point is being made, right? And the point being made is that we have all the data refuting all of these nonsensical arguments, right?
That's
So if you just don't know, then just say you don't know. Don't say that they're concerning because they're not. Especially when you've engaged a whole community of people that know everything about this thing that you're commenting about.
yeah. That's fair. I could have maybe worded that
Imagine
slightly
if these
differently.
people tried to tell you how to play your freaking poker hands. You'd probably slap the shit out of them.
I get plenty of that, to be honest. But yeah, I understand.
Well, I'm sure you do, but you get my
I understand
point.
what you're saying. Yeah, I'm actually like, so I think the benevolent whale argument is I could kind of get more behind that. I think people are like, I listened to the stream with Crypto Kev or Meet Kevin, and like his basically one of his big focuses was like the origin address and the daughter
Oh
address.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually thought he did a good job on the stream. Thought he asked good questions. I thought Richard did a great job too. I thought that was one of his best streams. I haven't seen that many of his streams, but I thought he did very good. Um,
Yeah, it
I
was
can
one
get
of his
behind
better
like him.
streams.
Hang on one sec.
No, no worries. Go ahead. Handling his business. You guys be nice. I mean, look, clearly the guy just doesn't know that much about crypto. So, we just got to square him away. And yeah, that's more concerning to me as well. What's going on, Joe? A long time no see, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this was last minute, guys. So thank you guys for joining in. Not sure if you guys saw, but the CDC will no longer be mandating PCR tests because they never worked. So all those positives been fake. So yeah, that's happening tomorrow. And that's what that tweet was earlier, in case you didn't get that. So yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that, Florian. Mucho apreciado. Oh man, it's just crazy, right? How some things um, just don't make sense to us, even though we know they do make sense, right? And that was like the hardest thing for me to battle when I first found Hex, was just simply understanding that staking was better than trading. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, but I already answered that shit, so it's all whatever. It's like, yo, all that shit is on the chain, bro. Like your concerns are null and void. So it's all good, man. Yeah, what's up, James? Hope you guys are doing all right out there. It is a Thursday. Man, 2021 flew by. I remember last year, Hex was just flying uh, to new highs like every damn day. Let's see what's going on this year, last year, this time. Yeah, man, that shit was just, what's today, the 30th? Yeah, the 30th last year was just, it had just done this crazy move and it just kept doing it. Oh, man. Crazy times, crazy times. Yo, that pool got drained. Did you guys see how that pool got drained? Hold on, let me see what the value is. I was just updating that too when this guy said let's do it. So give me a second. Let me update the pool. Let me update you guys on some data. Just because it's fun and it's what I like
Hey,
to do.
man, I'm sorry to run, but something came up. I had
No
something
worries,
planned
brother.
today, and it actually
No
came up
worries.
sooner than I thought. So I really do have to go.
No
I really
worries. No
appreciate you
worries.
having me, and thanks everyone. We'll try this again soon, and
Yes, sir. We will.
appreciate your time, man.
It was a pleasure, man. We will
It's a pleasure,
continue.
man.
All right, guys, it's just me. So let's just do some quick data talk and then we'll wrap this up because I got things I do have to do, unfortunately. So let's see, 35, 40. Again, still same. 12, 1. Okay, so everything's pretty much the same. So yesterday, Liquidity pool was at 104 million. Today is at 88 million. So that's about was that 16 divided by 104. Yeah, that's a 15% reduction overnight, basically, in the liquidity pool. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I see that Alan hooked it up also, and I missed it. Give me a second. Have him read the sovereign individuals so he knows where we ain't headed with crypto. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be all right, man. He just gotta learn. He just don't know shit about crypto, and that's okay. He'll learn. Because I mean, if he wants to keep, trading stocks, he can keep trading stocks. That shit is, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's funny, right? What are you gonna do? Yeah, I guess not. I mean, it's all on the chain. I don't know why people are still confused about that. Yeah, yeah, that's always a good one, right? Yeah, it's like, yo, do the houses trade every day? I don't know. Like Hex is like a fucking house. It's fucking luxury, but for real. So I'm not sure what's wrong with these people, but they'll get their mind right one day. One day, folks. One day. But at least the guy isn't shy to, not say that he don't know what's going on. So that's always important, right? Because it's about realizing what you don't know, because that's really the only way you're gonna learn. So at least he put his head on the chopping block, got it chopped off, mission over, right? Whatever. But oh man, but yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. You guys already seen the charts. I already went over them the other day. Hex is extremely decorrelated from everything. You guys see that Bitcoin is getting smashed. Everything else is getting smashed too. Hex is just looking as dominant as ever. I mean, yeah, just everything going how it's supposed to, really. So there's not much to say. The SAC has been ridiculous, right? Pulsex.com is working now. So let's go by those numbers. 91 million already. Yep. 91.3 million already on the Pulsex SAC. So there you go. Hey, if you guys don't know, the recommended strategy is to buy Hex and sack it, right? Because you're literally pumping your own bags that way. So that's all with that, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not talking about sacking the Hex you have already. We're talking about sacking Hex you're going to use to buy other crap anyway. So just buy Hex and sack that. Yo, Hex, are you stupid? You retarded. Yeah. Thank you for the super challenge, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. Not much Hex going around, guys. So get your buys in, get your sacks in. The earlier the better with the sack. We've already learned this from the last sack, right? Let's get ready for these mad gains. And yeah, word. Oh man, yeah. Please don't do that, Alec. Don't dye your hair pink, bro. Please. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Oh man, but yeah, it's all right. The guy knows he doesn't know shit, so it's okay. You'll learn. But let's do this outro, and you guys have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for all the super chats and all the love. Much love from Wales as always. Peace. Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest. Yep. That's it. Yep. That's the secret. The God well told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. Shit, motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. Man, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you.